And good morning. Officially the start of the PAX adventure today. We are at day 0 essentially, which means PAX itself isn't running, but my PAX adventure starts because today I'll first have to do laundry so I have clean stuff to wear to PAX. Secondly, we have to go in, check into the motel at some point today. Check-in officially starts at 2. Early check-in is, if you're lucky enough to get there and there's a room, fine, no problem. Otherwise, just rolling the dice. So we've got a fistful of hours to waste in the day before we even bother going to the motel. But after we check into the motel, got to figure out what the tram situation is and work out which tram I have to take to get into the CBD to get to the, convention center, which shouldn't be a problem. There's a tram station quite close to the motel, so it should be a short walk to the tram, into the city, short walk to the convention center. Easy peasy. And then pick up the badge from the convention center, my media badge. Must not forget to take ID like I did last time, and have to trek back to the hotel and then back again. That was annoying. But yeah, truck stop is as it usually was. I'm starting to prefer these truck stops for places to crash, just because of the convenience of the food and the parking, no one ever bothers you. The noise is a bit much, but because I'm so close to Melbourne itself, actual campgrounds are a bit few and far between at this point in the journey. But yeah, they're fine. So, not a grand adventure today, but lots to get done. First thing I want to do though is, while I'm here at the truck stop with access to things like rubbish bins, I need to clear out the van a bit. A little bit of junk has accrued in the passenger seat over the last few days. Empty bottles of drink and stuff. Nothing gross, but we need to clean that out. Might as well do it now. Alright then, talk to you again once we're on the road, or preparing to get on the road from the driver's seat. You know how it goes. Alrighty there, the plan is solidifying from the general plan to a specific plan. I have selected a laundrette, laundromat. What is the difference between a laundrette and a laundromat? Are they two different words for the same thing? I honestly don't know. I wonder if I remember to look that up later. Probably while editing. The direct route from where I am to where it is, just on the sort of northern outskirts of Greater Melbourne, as it were, is about an hour. I have deliberately asked Google Maps to send me on a more circuitous scenic route, if you will. Number one, because I have time to kill. I got up quite early this morning, and I don't want to sort of risk rolling up to the motel too soon and then them going, oh no, it's not ready, and then I've got to kill time in the much denser part of Melbourne and try and find a place to park while they get the thing ready. I'd rather burn time in the outskirts. The other reason is, if I left now at the most efficient route to the laundromat, I would arrive pretty much smack bang in the middle of peak hour traffic, or just at the tail end of peak hour traffic, really. And I do not want to do that, because Melbourne drivers suck. And I think during the drive I'm going to, again, sort of ruminate a little bit on the style of cinematography I want to go for at PAX, what sort of look I want to go for, color grading style-wise, because I've decided I'm going to shoot flat, which, if you know nothing about cinematography, just means shooting with a set of settings that makes the image look very washed out and flat, but captures the most amount of detail between the shadows and the highlights, giving you a lot of power in the edit to adjust how it looks, color, saturation, tone, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much everything I do is straight out of camera. I don't fiddle with it much. I get it right in camera, and away we go, because that works for the content that I needed that for. But if we're going to push the limits, I shoot flat. It's a lot more work, both in the setup of the shot and especially in the editing. But it's not work that I'm afraid of or don't enjoy doing. I am a little bit worried about how much extra work it's going to be timeline wise in getting the edits ready day after day for a daily vlog style thing, so I might think about shooting some stuff straight out of camera for the vlog, and then shoot specific stuff flat for a more polished edit that will come out after PAX. Got to make up my mind on which way I want to go there. But I think a mix of both would be good. That way we still get a daily thing. Probably going to be shorter because I'll save most of the content for the polished stuff. But I'll figure it out. I don't want to necessarily break the daily vlog streak just yet, especially over such a fun weekend. So that's what I'm going to be chewing over on the ride, so long as there aren't any Breaky McSlams them on, which is a nickname I gave to a driver I was stuck behind for about 40 minutes yesterday, who, whenever they applied the brakes. And the only way I kept sane is by calling them Breaky McSlams them on, which made me laugh. I was talking to them for the most of the road. Oh, well done, Breaky McSlams them on. Yeah, you only had another 50 meters to go there before you had to come to a stop. Good on you. Anyway, let's hit the road. It is uncanny how reliably shitty Melbourne drivers are. The instant I hit Greater Melbourne, any kind of, real traffic on, roads with traffic lights and shit on, civilization roads, someone tried to swerve into, in front of me, changing lanes. There was barely a car's gap because it was heavy traffic. I normally leave at least 2 cars gap. But there was barely 1 car's gap on this one, and they tried to swerve into it, slam on the brakes. And just as I was pulling in to this place where the laundromat is, someone tried to merge into me, and then had the gall to beep at me. Meep, how dare you not let me rush in there? Like there were 2 cars behind me. I saw them, hit the accelerator, desperately trying to merge into my lane. Because, again, there was a slight gap in front of me because I like to leave a little safety space. Just the arrogance and selfishness and recklessness of Melbourne drivers is just horrific. I fucking hate it. In any case, we are now at the laundromat, so let's head in and get the job done. I don't know what it is about me, but I just had another pair of boomers ask me how to operate the coin-operated or tap-to-pay operated washing machines in there. So that's 2 out of 4 times I've been to a laundromat that's happened. 50% of the time I'm in a laundromat and a boomer gets confused about how to operate a washing machine that has instructions printed on it. 4 steps. This time I can forgive them. This time, English was not their first language. Like even their washing detergent and softener, the packaging was in a language I couldn't read. I was like, which is which? The softener has to go here, what detergent goes here. But we muddled through. They didn't tip me though. Seemed rude. What am I, helping boomers out of the goodness of my own heart? Jesus. Yeah, no, it wasn't a language barrier. When they came back and had to transfer the stuff across to the dryer, they had even more problems, and then activated the wrong dryer. It was definitely boomer brain, 100% boomer brain. All right, I've been killing time for a while, just out and about, parked in just a regular car park for a while. Was going to go into the shops, but decided against it. But then it started to get kind of stinky and hot, so I found a nearby shopping centre with an underground car park, and I'm going to go wander in the air-conditioned shopping centre for a bit. and perhaps get myself something sweet to drink, because I'm having that weird craving again. Maybe mango this time. Maybe mango this time. I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, I should start making my way to the motel at this point, I think. Google Maps is telling me that the drive is going to take about 40 minutes, which, considering the distance we have to cover, seems a bit odd, but I'm guessing it's accounting for traffic conditions. So there'll be no accounting for my mood once I arrive, having to fight through Melbourne traffic, but it will be the last time I have to drive anywhere for any reason for the next 4 days. So that'll be neat. Anyway, let's get this over with, shall we? Computer, lock onto that Tesla in front of us and prepare to fire a photon torpedo. There shall be no Musk cocksuckers in my skies. Okay, so check-in. Wow, the room's a bit live. Sorry about the echo. Next time I record in here, I'll use a different microphone. First word I said after checking in, well, that's not entirely true. I said, oh, fuck me, because the first thing I did when I got my stuff into the motel room was take a long, hot shower, and it was fantastic. I've had some decent showers at caravan parks, for instance, but either the hot water isn't hot enough or the pressure isn't high enough. You know, you take what you can get. But here at this motel, pressure is very nice. Just tries to move the skin out of the way. It's got an adjustable shower head, so you can, you know, do the harsh one or the gentle one, all that kind of stuff. It was very hot. Oh, it was gorgeous. I feel so much more relaxed and fresh now. It's been a few days since I've had a shower, actually. 4 days, 5 days. I needed one. So yeah, the room is fantastic. I'm not going to take you on a tour. We'll do that at the end, because I can, you know, fully report on how the room went over the weekend. But it's nice. It's quiet. It's private. The bathroom's good. I'm not sure whether there's a minibar, but there's some food and drink and coffee stuff. I've got a microwave even, which is good because I've got a box of instant oats in the car, so I can make myself some breakfast. Probably not going to. I tend to have a fairly high carb, high protein breakfast on con days just to give me the fuel to keep running, otherwise I peter out. Thank you, by the way, to that very generous person. We talked in yesterday's video how I've had a very kind and generous person who donated me some money to splurge, treat myself on some camera equipment I was looking at. This person said, hey, eating at a con can be expensive, and they're right. Here's some money. And it was like more than enough money to get me through the weekend, all my meals and whatnot taken care of, depending on how heavily I drink, because this is the first time in a while I'll be able to drink as well. I don't tend to drink very often anyway. New Year's and, you know, when I'm out, which is very rare in recent years, but certainly at PAX there's drinking. And while I have felt like having a drink at times while I've been on the road, even if I'm not driving, if I'm in the car and drunk and a cop with a bad attitude comes along, who knows what they're going to do. Oh, you were operating the vehicle while you were intoxicated. No, I was in the back sleeping, you dickhead. Man, I've heard horror stories of shit like that going before, when cops just want an excuse to hassle on someone who's, you know, stealth camping, for example. So I haven't indulged in a drink in a very long time. So I'm looking forward to. I might even have one this evening. Maybe I'll run into someone when I go down and get my badge, which I'm about to do. But first, I have to get a new MyKey card. This is the public transport card in Victoria. Bloop. I've had this one for many years, and I just went to check the balance. You can't check the balance without registering it online, so I went to register it, and you can't copy paste the number of it in because I took a photo of it, and the iPhone says, "Hey, that's text. Do you want to copy paste?" So the website doesn't understand pasted numbers. You have to type it in manually, otherwise it doesn't highlight the login now button. Jesus wept, government websites, man. But then I typed it in manually and it said, "Nope, this card is expired." How does the card expire? How does this expire? It's an NFC card. It shouldn't expire. There's nothing wrong with this. The electronics that are buried in this card are fine. Just let me recharge it. Why do I have to throw this piece of plastic away and buy a new one? Stupid. In any case, now I have to find, I think they sell them at 7-Eleven from memory. I don't know whether all 7-Elevens or just special 7-Elevens. So I have to go buy a new card so I can boop, tap on and off the trams. There is a free tram loop in the inner city. You can ride however long you like, wherever you get. It's just a little. It's all in the CBD though, and the convention center is just outside that, and my motel is certainly outside that. So I will have to boop on and off. They do have a system where you can boop on and off with your phone, only if you have an Android phone. For some reason, Apple phones aren't allowed to do that, which is bizarre. In New South Wales, you can do it with a card. You can do it with a phone. You can do it with your Apple Pay on your phone, like the credit card thing. Boop, boop, you tap to pay on your phone, which I've been using for everything for ages now. You can, if you forget your key, if you forget your, little card, or runs out of balance or whatever, you can just use your phone. Bloop. That's so easy in New South Wales. But here, there's so many stupid hoops, expiring NFC cards, and can't use your Apple phone because they're not popular. On the bright side, I hardly almost died at all on the drive here. The Victorian Melbourne drivers were on the best behaviour, which means I almost only died slightly a few times. Anyway, I'm going to quickly pack my camera bag with some of that iPhone stuff just in case I want to do some test shooting when I'm down at the convention centre. And then I'm going to walk down, go get the MyKey thing, find the appropriate tram stop, write it in, figure out which tram stop is closest to where I need to get off, walk to the convention centre, get my tag, and reverse the process. All right, seeing as I haven't had anything to eat or drink since breakfast, I figured I should get something in me. I started to feel a bit woozy as I walked towards the tram stop, towards the 7-Eleven, now to the tram stop. Apparently, Starbucks now sell coffee in a can at places like 7-Eleven. That's new. I suppose not too surprising considering how popular the Boss canned coffee has been over the recent years. Japanese one, which is, it's alright, it's pretty good. But, espresso latte, double shot. It's fine. Doesn't really taste like coffee though. It tastes like a coffee flavoured treat of some kind. Somebody might tell you that I got on a tram heading in the exact opposite direction that I should have been heading, that person is a liar. No one's that stupid. I wouldn't make a mistake like that. I know which way traffic goes. It's just ridiculous that I got turned around while trying to hunt down a 7-Eleven so I could buy a MyKey because the other plastic expired somehow. So the ridiculousness is just such a thing. Alrighty, found a more efficient tram route back to the motel. 7-Eleven on the way. Used to drink so many of these back in the day. Shockingly hard to find these days. I always find the monsters. Mothers, rare. Especially the zero sugar ones. They're good though. Shouldn't really be drinking one of these at 5 PM, but still a lot of work to do in the edit. And 1 or 2 more pieces of camera, I think, before we can call it done for the day. Would I have a real bed tonight? Yay! Oh, missed the pillow slightly. Oh, real beds feel weird. I've been sleeping on crappy air mattresses or self-inflating mattresses for over 5 weeks. That's the first time I've been on a real mattress in a very long time, it seems. It feels too flat. I'm not even playing. It feels weird. Good weird. Oh, I better not lay down too long, otherwise I will just drift off without editing the video. But I'm going to lie down for a bit. Oh, well, I know I said I would mic up properly next time I record this to deal with some of the echo in this room. I'm too tired. I'm so wiped out. It's about 6 PM. Took way longer to get into the city than I thought. The tram I thought I was going to take is actually not running properly at the moment because they're doing some stuff where they're digging up the street where the tram's supposed to go. So, yeah, that's all jammed up. So called that as far as it could go, transferred to a different tram, and because of all these disruptions, all the trams are just sardine packed. And I had to wait for a second tram. The first one was so cramped, and the second one was no better, but there was just enough room for me to squeeze in. And as you might anticipate, that did an old number on the sensory overload. So yeah. Anyway, made it into the CBD proper and wandered down to the convention center. Got my badge. Found a more efficient tram back. I think I recorded a bit to camera for that, so probably repeating myself. I don't know. Everything's all out of sequence and jumbled, and I'm not okay right now. Like, the mood is good, but sensory overload. I forgot how loud Melbourne is, and busy, and dense. And it hit me like a truck full of bricks. And the bricks are made out of depleted plutonium. Heavy bricks. That's the point. Whew. So yeah, fair amount of sensory overload there. And there's no real preparing for that. It either smacks you around or it doesn't. I should be alright at the con itself because there's, that's my, it's a space full of my people and my things, rather than just a random city with people hustling and bustling and cramming you into sardine tins of transport. And horns and screeching brakes and trains. Oh my God. I truly forgot just how catastrophically noisy it is in that part of town. In any case, I'm going to sign off and say my thank yous to the PayPal, to the Patreon, to the Super Chats, to the people who give the likes, and the people who leave comments. Thank you. In the last video, I asked for more comments, and I got more comments, so that was awesome of you guys. Appreciate that. And a big shout out to a couple of people who did generous PayPal donations today. There was one guy which is very, very generous. And another one, I think I told you about in another clip, who basically has funded my food for the weekend. So it certainly lifted some of the load of worrying about not spending too much. Now I can, if I'm hungry, I can eat, and if I'm thirsty, I can drink without, weighing up the pros and cons of how much I'm about to spend on this, and how far away do I have to walk and to get something more affordable, and then come back, and well, all that math and juggling of time versus money, and is it worth it, or can I just buy the con food and swallow the cost? Anyway, see you tomorrow.